On a dark bend of an old provincial road, where the asphalt curves a little too sharply beneath the tamarind trees, a driver slows for a woman standing at the very edge of the verge. She is pale and still and looking straight at him, and she should not be there at this hour. He blinks against his own headlights. When he looks again, the roadside is empty. There is only a small spirit house and a single bottle of red soda glinting in the dark. You have seen these shrines without knowing what they are. A miniature house on a post at a dangerous curve. A cluster of garlands going brown in the heat. Bottles of bright red drink, the color of nothing natural, set out in rows. They mark the places where someone died suddenly and wrongly and did not leave. Welcome to Whispers of Siam, where the old stories of this land are told the way they were meant to be told, in the dark, with respect. Tonight, the most feared dead in all of Siam. Not a single ghost with a name, but a whole class of the restless, the Phi Tai Hong. In the Thai belief, how you die matters as much as how you live. To die old, in your bed, with your family near, and the monks chanting, with your affairs settled and your debts paid, that is a good death, a ripe death, and the spirit goes on cleanly to whatever comes next. But to die before your time, by violence, by accident, by your own hand, that is to die Tai Hong. A green death. A death cut off in the middle of the sentence before the words were done. The road takes them. The river takes them. Fire and blade and fever take them. And worst of all, childbirth takes them. The young mother who dies with her child, still unborn, becomes the most powerful and most sorrowful of all the Phi Tai Hong. These are the ones who were not finished, who had more to say, more to do, more years that were owed to them and never paid. And because they were not finished, they do not leave. A good spirit moves on. A Phi Tai Hong stays, bound to the exact patch of earth where the life left the body, circling the place of its own death, often not even understanding that it has died at all. That is the heart of the fear. It is not that they are evil, it is that they are caught, trapped in the final terrible moment, replaying it again and again, full of the rage and confusion of a death that came too fast to accept. Imagine the worst instant of a life, the instant of its ending, stretched out forever, with no way forward and no way back. A spirit like that is not at peace, and what is not at peace cannot be reasoned with. They are said to be drawn to the living and to the warmth of the living, the way a cold thing is drawn to a fire. Some seek company, some seek a way back. Some, the worst of them, seek a replacement. For the old belief holds that a Phi Tai Hong can only be freed from its post when another death takes its place upon the same ground. This is why a dangerous curve grows more dangerous with each life it takes. Why a certain stretch of river drowns swimmers year after year. Why the old people passing such a place fall silent and press their palms together. They believe something is waiting there, something that is lonely and patient and hungry for one more. There was a stretch of road, they say, where the buses came down out of the hills too fast. A young woman died there one rainy night, thrown from a vehicle into the dark, and afterward the drivers began to see her, standing at the bend in a pale dress, looking at them, there and then gone. The crashes came after that, one, then another, then more than anyone wished to count. Each death at the same cursed curve. The villagers understood what was happening. She was not haunting the road for cruelty's sake. She was trying, in the only way left to her, to find the one death that would let her go. And so the living did the only thing that has ever worked against such grief. They did not curse her, and they did not try to drive her away, for you cannot banish someone who is only trying to come home. Instead, they did something gentler and far stranger. They built her a house. At the side of the road, they raised a spirit house, small and bright, a home for the one who had none. They brought her offerings, flowers, rice, sweet things, and they brought the red soda, the nam dang, the drink the color of blood, set out so that the spirit who died in blood might take what it craved and leave the living unharmed. They called the monks. For only merit can truly move a Phi Tai Hong on. The merit made by the living and dedicated to the dead, the chanting that reminds the trapped spirit that its life is over, that it is loved, that it is allowed at last to go. Tam Boon, the making of merit, is the one bridge out of that endless circling moment. Sometimes the bones themselves were gathered in the old way, and given the funeral the sudden death had stolen. The proper rites, the proper words, the proper grief, performed late but performed at last. A death done wrongly, set right by the patient hands of the living. And this is what is gentlest and strangest in the story of the Phi Tai Hong. The most feared dead in Siam are not slain or banished or burned away. They are mothered. They are given the home, the offerings, and the mourning they were robbed of, until the rage cools into rest, and the spirit that could not leave is finally, kindly, let go. For the fear of the Phi Tai Hong is really a fear turned inside out. It is the living saying, "We know you died badly. We know it was not your time. We have not forgotten you at the edge of this road, and we will not pass you by." This is why the shrines stand at every dangerous bend in this country, why the garlands are replaced and the red bottles refilled, why a driver, slowing for a figure that is not there, will lift one hand from the wheel and bow his head as he passes. He is not only afraid, he is paying respect to someone the road took too soon. Because in Siam, the dead are not gone. They are near. They are at the curve in the road and the bend in the river, at the foot of the high tree and the mouth of the dark canal, in the small bright houses on their posts, in the rows of red bottles catching the last of the light. The good death goes on and is at peace. The green death lingers and waits and asks only to be remembered and to be told at last that it may go. So if you ever drive an old road at night and your headlights catch a pale figure standing where no one should stand, do not be only afraid. Slow down, bow your head. And when you pass the little house at the roadside with its garlands and its single bottle of red, understand what it is. It is an apology. It is a memory. It is the living telling the dead, across the one border none of us will avoid. You mattered. You are not forgotten. You are allowed now to rest. If this story stayed with you, leave a little respect for the ones the road took too soon. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next whisper.